Welcome back, everyone. I'm back today here with Will Moreno, and we're talking about TextRP. This is a very interesting project to me that I believe is on the bleeding edge of the XRPL because it is dealing with communications and it is doing something, actually, several things very differently from what I think we expect in the Web3 space. And it's dealing with messaging, so obviously communications going back and forth. I'm very interested to hear y'all's comments in the comments below about this particular project because, again, it is so entirely different in this space and it is using the XRPL in an extremely interesting way. I You'll come to learn about the project as we go through this, but again, the implications just because of communications are so far reaching. So what would you use this for? What do you as we go through this, what do you think about this? How do you think about all of these aspects? So I'm very interested again to get to know your side of things. But again, Will Moreno, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about text, or actually no. First, we're going to go into about you. Tell us about you, and since you're the creator of TextRP, so go ahead.
Thanks, James. Yeah, so I started, my background is in telecommunications initially with the U.S. Army. I'm an 11-year veteran. When I left the military, I went to school for electronics engineering. And for the past 10 years or so, well, 11 years now,
Wow.
I've been working with virtual simulators for the Defense Department. I got into crypto in 2017, thereabouts, as a speculator slash investor
Mm-hmm.
with no real intent on building anything. But ever since uh, the Ripple lawsuit, that kind of kicked off the bear market, I decided that I didn't want to be kind of a backseat player on things. I really, wanted to take some of my skill sets and put them to use in this new space that, it's like if you were to, go back in time and be able to, be involved in the hands-on building of the internet as a tech guy, would you? Well, yeah, I would. So, I see this as the beginnings of a whole new, industry, and I want to be part of it. So, I started looking at ways that we could solve problems in the space. I got involved with the Wild Stag Treehouse Club as, a technical consultant for them and helping them with their NFT technology and with their website. And in the process, actually, of communicating between teams and in the space, I realized that we are talking all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is. I got DMs on Twitter, I got DMs on Discord, I got my text messages, I got my WhatsApp, and I noticed I have to keep switching between apps. And that was sort of my eureka moment when I realized I could just get all these in one inbox. So that's how sort of how TextRP came about is sort of like a solution for that problem of having your conversations all over the place and risking missing opportunities uh, by putting them all in one inbox that I can control through and then integrating basically just integrating the XRPL also for added privacy, and we'll talk about those things, and and the NFT wave on the XRPL really boosted things because now we are able to add modular features onto our platform, and that's just fantastic. So yeah, look, I'm just excited about building on the XRP ledger, and we have a very supportive community, and that's really what I like. And the community kind of would benefit from an app that enables people to communicate more seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean, just the crypto side of things, it seems like we're constantly bouncing through Discord, Telegram, and Twitter, and there's KryptonBit and all these other platforms that you never seem to get the same communication in all the same places. So,
That's
this,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
another thing is, oftentimes people are trying to, if you were to equate this to a social media network, it's not quite that because this is platform agnostic, meaning that we're not trying to start up a whole new social media platform, but rather we can take in all the messages from all the platforms that you prefer to use.
Yep.
So, what that does is, the NFTs that enable these features allow the user to have a personalized messaging experience within the app. So no two apps are going to look alike, but it's going to be your very own app.
Yep. And just so people know, I met Will at a local meetup here in Texas, and he came down. He was showing me this app, and it was very. I love the UI design. Like I understood exactly like the concept of what he was trying to accomplish, and like he texted me from the app. Which was very very cool just to see how instantaneous that was. The if I texted him or if I sent him something on Discord or Twitter, that's the app that he got it from. So it was again very very cool in this regard. But so I think people get this concept. But you were talking about it like it's not just these platforms. Like you have there's how do I say this? I don't want to use the word implications, but there's so many sectors that this could apply to in terms of we talked about the metaverse that night, and like when I thought about using the XRPL to connect the metaverses in this way, that this is the like for me when I see a metaverse, I don't get really excited because the interconnectivity, the sheer I don't know like what I'm trying to say, but it's elusive how you need to be able, if you're going to do a true metaverse, it needs to connect to everything, and you need to be able to have, for one thing, communication across all of these different platforms to have a true metaverse. And so this is where I was really intrigued that TextRP did something that would make the metaverse more of a reality than what I've seen by like just people trying to do quote a metaverse. Like they don't take they may be trying to connect spaces, but they're not necessarily trying to connect communications the way that, like, for instance, if I was in let's just take this back to video games, as they seem to be very close to metaverses in some ways. Like if I'm in WoW, I could talk to somebody in Call of Duty,
Right.
that kind of thing. So to and I know there's Discord that kind of does that, but this is to such a broader area than just gaming that really excited me. So I want to talk
Okay.
about,
Yeah.
yeah, that just a second if you don't mind,
Yeah,
because
and even though we haven't really discussed, like, given a good description of what the platform is, just to give you a bit of a peek there, yes, it would be possible if, as you see some of these metaverses that are being implemented on the XRPL are using your XRP address sort of as your identity within that space.
yep.
And so, because we provide a communications layer to the XRP, we're actually able to,
Do you want
be
me to blow that
agnostic
up?
as
I don't
to
think they
which
can see it. You're
platform.
kind of small right now.
Uh, well, that's fine. Basically, it's a layer, a communications layer, and we are in talks with some other projects where we're going to pipe in the communications to them, so that way that basically you can be your identity depending on whatever wallet address you choose. As we know in the space, who those who use the Sum wallet, you can manage multiple wallet addresses,
Yep.
and you may want to choose one wallet address for this identity, the other for another one. And if you're taking say your gaming identity,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to take that, across games and such, you would be able to then use the TextRP platform as your communications layer across those, because we also use your XRP wallet address as your identity. So basically, what we do is we give your XRP wallet address a voice,
Okay.
a means of communicating with the outside world.
Okay. And this is where like I'm not sure what in this case you're talking about. Would I be able to be like, let's say, Blue 42 in one account and then um, another username and another account, like, and be
If it's
still have the same?
if you're tying it within the same wallet address,
Yeah.
then yes. If not, then we could. There's probably a workaround like a group chat or something you could do. Set up a
Okay.
group chat and then have different your different identities kind of like check in that one group chat.
Okay. I was just kind of like, because I could be different usernames, different places, and I just wondered how that
Correct.
would all flow into. I'm sure it all flow into the app just fine using the address here. I just kind of like being known
Yeah,
by that
yeah.
address is kind of different than like, hey, I now create my username and I'm this person for this game or this
hmm
experience. So
hmm
um,
hmm
keeping
and
track of
that
all
does
that's hard
depend
too.
on the the methods that each metaverse uses for identity.
Yep. And so again, this is really exciting for the fact that like I do not want to have to remember 30,000 different passwords. Like use my use my face, use to scan and to know that it's me. I love that about this. Like it
hmm
simplifies things to such a degree. Like
Yep.
the simplicity is amazing to me. On the other side, the simplicity scares me because the like now I'm worried about like if I lose this wallet, and I'm granted, I'm anyone who would be using this platform would probably create like you said, a separate XRPL address for these communications. Um,
Right.
so, but on the like I said, on this other hand, like now my communications are being tied to blockchain transactions. And so tell me about that side of things because this some people hearing this may, like myself, think this might lead to a more dystopian future that we're looking against. In terms of like, now because I don't know, are my messages being tracked on the blockchain? Like, how
hmm
the are my messages being recorded on the blockchain somewhere?
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about the data side of things and how that's handled?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, we combined the Matrix Communications Protocol with the XRP ledger. The Matrix protocol uses end-to-end encryption, so I have no way of like looking at messages. Whenever you log in to TextRP for the first time, it generates new keys that then encrypt the messages. And there's ways to back up those keys so you don't lose them, and depending on the machine that you're using. Currently, we're going to be under a as a website, but we will be having a native app for your phones as well, and that will be an end-to-end encryption situation. There's just no way that I could anyone could read those messages. There are some messages that you currently use. I mean, people sometimes I wonder if people really are that concerned about their messages because Twitter is very popular, yet the DMs are not encrypted.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I sometimes wonder how much people really put stock into this other than these generic like I'll put on the paper we're end-to-end encryption. Yeah, we personally like the TextRP app, any messages that are within the app are end-to-end encrypted. However, because we are a unified messaging app, we can consolidate messages from various platforms. If you happen to be using messages from a platform that is not encrypted, we can't guarantee the encryption of their platform.
yeah,
So, for
exactly.
example, if you pull in your Twitter DMs, well, we can't guarantee the encryption on Twitter's end because that's them, But what we do is our communications with Twitter is encrypted. But other than that, like whatever happens on Twitter servers, or it's kind of their risk management.
Yeah, I just the and that's the other thing is that like it brings in all these different platforms with their own issues, right? I mean, usually I can
Right.
choose. I mean, I guess it's the same
The
thing.
app, yeah.
I
The app
can.
will tell you the app can tell you if the messages are encrypted or not. Like it will, and I'll be happy to do a more in-depth screenshot maybe in the future
Yeah,
call with you. And because we're about, I'd say about 70% done with the MVP, so we're going to roll out in about 3 months.
that's
Be
exciting.
happy to share with you how that's going. We have chat functions, we have video functions. We're probably going to be the first decentralized video chat service out there. I don't see any other. We also have voice chat. We'll have all these features are going to be enabled by the NFTs that you hold. And we have partnerships with other projects that they're going to be adding media files that are going to be enabled by holding those project NFTs. So we're bringing more utility to the XRP ledger than anyone's brought before.
Yeah, and that's um yes, there's so much to cover about this project. I just want to like compartmentalize a little bit.
Well,
Like cuz I'm
we got started so excitedly, and I love this because this is such an exciting project. It's so easy to just let's pick up at 100 miles an hour. But just let me give you a quick elevator speech just to give you a good overview of what exactly a TextRP is. Okay, so we
okay.
are a unified messaging system, and that's not really a new concept. Okay, what's new is that we're using the Matrix protocol, which is one of the latest in open source encryption, federated, and that'll come later when we go into multi-chain talk. Federated system communications protocols. Not only do we do that, but we integrate with the XRPL to provide added functionality via the use of NFTs, which we call feature packs. So your messaging experience is personalized depending on the feature packs that you hold. So whatever packs features you want, you hold the feature pack NFTs that enable those features. You're done using that feature, you get rid of that feature pack. You can burn it for some extra credits, or you can sell it on the open market. That's the beauty of NFTs. So we're bringing in a synergy of technologies that is going to bring in a whole new wave of utility for the XRP ledger that has not been seen. It just has not been seen before. This is a new utility, and it's
No.
messaging. Whereas Ripple, handles Ripple's main mission is to get rid of the friction between cross-border payments, and TextRP is handling the friction that happens in communications.
That sounds like a great perfect analogy, and that's exactly how I've been seeing it. So I do want to get back a little bit to the data side of things just to finish up that conversation. Now, in your centralizing things inside of your services, so doesn't that make TextRP a huge target for, even though you're encrypting these messages back and forth, like instead of targeting Twitter, targeting Telegram, Discord, like people could just target you as the intermediary for all these different messages, and somehow, like, even if they were, because I mean, I'm assuming governments and people with far more knowledge than I, even though your encryption, I have no idea about encryption, so you have to tell me like that side of things. But like, wouldn't that not make the TextRP a centralized target for for hacking or for anything like that? I mean, I'm not sure
If
about the
anybody,
standards.
if anybody wants to hack the, like, say, a message, it would be Garble.
Okay.
It's end-to-end encrypted. It gets encrypted at the user's device. So the keys are held in that at the device
Okay.
for encryption and decryption. So whoever doesn't hold that key cannot encrypt cannot decrypt the message.
Okay. Cool. I mean, that's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
makes total sense. I
Yeah,
just
and
what
there's other options. I mean, there are other centralizing, I guess, options. Concerns. Let's put it that way. For example, we're not running the servers off of my grandma's closet. That's for sure.
we appreciate that.
We're on, yes, we're running enterprise AWS. We're with backups on Kubernetes. So there's scalability. Mitigation in place. There's expandability. There's also the backups in place. as well. But that is actually not the end game. We're looking at other decentralized computing options. For example, Evernote.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that we're keeping our eye on. And when systems such as those are ready, so that they could handle the computing throughput that we require, we're definitely open to then transferring over the computing side of things and the data side of things more to more decentralized options as they become viable.
Yep.
That's the key word.
I've heard a lot of good things about them. So, is there any particular hesitation as to why you wouldn't just start there, or like with?
Because if we wanted to get to market, we wouldn't be able to get to market until all those things are in place.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We're going to get to market by the end of the year.
Awesome. That's cool. Um, well,
Yeah,
uh,
you got a lot of projects that have a lot of they'll raise they'll issue tokens and issue an ICO, and they'll keep me. Look, I come from the investor side of things. Like I said, I've been in the space since 2017 as a speculator.
hmm
Okay, so I've had my share of rugs and all sorts of scams and whatnot. So my first philosophy was that we're not going to start with a token. So and not just that, but also have something to deliver on. Right now, the prototype is live. The prototype for TextRP was completed last year in October. So that I was, I did not make myself, the project public until December of that year.
wow.
So unlike many other projects that even the ones that I support that will go public
hmm
years before a product, I have something already in place. And like,
Yeah,
as I was able to
it
show
was
you during
impressive.
our meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I think that like you said before, the XRPL needs true utility and people like yourself building on it. And you said you didn't even launch a token, which gets into the investor side of things. I didn't really want to get into right now. I might push that off to a little bit later in the conversation. But
And it's fine. We can talk about just the NFTs in general,
yeah,
because oftentimes you hear about utility for NFTs in the space, but utility just translates to some sort of residual,
passive
you
income.
know, uh, passive income, and that, I guess that could be labeled a utility, but it's a very soft utility.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about utility, me as from a technical background, I want tools. I want something I can stick my teeth in. I could, something that is tactile in nature. In today's, in 2023, what's more tactile than you being on your phone typing away a text at someone?
People are on their phone way
Uh,
too much these days, and so yes, anything that you can do to consolidate those experiences, I'm sure people will be crazy about. So, but let's get
yeah,
into the NFT packs here because this is you have tied features and new development to NFTs. Is that my
yes,
understanding?
that's right. That's right. So the term NFTs have become, very ubiquitous now, and in some places have, turned somewhat negative. We are taking the approach of labeling our NFTs and calling them what they are. And they are feature packs because that's what they do. They enable features within the app. They are, in essence, uh, digital certificates of ownership of that feature. And so our app is set up in such a way. Could you imagine if you got onto a desktop, and every feature imaginable known to man is there for you? You would not know what to do. There'd be too many buttons, too many knobs, too many sliders.
Yep.
So what if you could just have the features that you want? So that's what we enable. We enable your user experience to be dictated by the NFTs that you hold. So let's say that you wish to bring in your Twitter DMs into the platform. Well, if that's the case, because say you're a heavy Twitter DM user, uh, you would purchase or acquire a feature pack that enables that specific channel. So you would acquire a Twitter DM feature pack. By holding that in your wallet, whenever you log into the app, it would detect that you're holding that. It would enable that feature for that address, and so you'll be able to get your DMs and interact with, through your Twitter DMs as if you were in Twitter, uh, sending messages back and forth.
Yep.
That's a feature that's available now. Like I've been using it to send DMs. I mean, it's one of the best things to just use one inbox, and you know that you're talking to someone on Discord and someone on Twitter, and you're not having to jump around.
Yeah, the idea of using NFTs in this way is extremely unique. And it's something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around in terms of, like, okay, so I'm looking at my wallet. I have an NFT pack. So that's a one NFT that is representative of several different features, or is that one NFT per feature?
Let's not over complicate it, but yeah, let's go with one for one. So, I mean, in the future we might, do combos, but for now, keeping it simple. Let's say you want a Twitter DM, you acquire the Twitter DM feature pack.
Okay.
You want Discord DMs, you acquire the Discord DM Twitter pack. You only want one of those, you just get the one that you want, the one that you require. Let's say you want, and we have some other things in the works, such as translation packs.
Okay.
Whereas if you're speaking with someone who speaks in a different language, or you're able to then plug in this NFT that will translate into that receiver's language and vice versa, so that you can have a more productive conversation without having to go copy paste that Google translates. It's just an NFT that facilitates that feature.
That's
Uh,
amazing. Um,
yeah, the same thing goes like if you want to do video chat, you can just plug in the video chat NFT, and then you'll have video chat in our app.
so how this changes software development, from my understanding, is that you have
Okay.
feature switches, right?
Yes.
That you switch a feature on and off. I guess you would just turn it off for all of the people that own the NFTs, or how does that work if you're trying to say, hey, there's a problem with a feature, you just flip it off and all of a sudden, like, it does that change anything, or how does that work? Because you're enabling the feature based on who owns the NFTs, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So,
So if let's say you own a video chat NFT, you would log into your the platform, and for the UI will conform itself to what you're holding. So if you're holding the video chat NFT, the video chat option will be there for you.
okay. But what if, let's say, you need to turn it off for some reason in your app,
Okay.
because there's a bug, it gets out, it happens.
Are you talking on our end?
Yeah.
Like, what if we? Oh, I guess we would. I guess put a oops, maintenance sign up,
Okay. I mean, because
just
this
like
is
anybody else.
okay.
If Amazon goes down, I mean, they do that. I guess they just put a pardon our mess. We're cleaning up.
That's true, but like NFT and ownership, it's like it's you're bringing that
You would
relationship
still
in a
own,
bit different
you would
space a little
still own
bit.
the owner. You would still own the NFT. You
Yeah.
never, as the owner of an NFT, all we're doing is, you're logging in with your wallet. All we're doing is querying the XRPL and saying,
Yeah.
okay, hey, this wallet address, does it hold any of our NFTs? And if so, okay, great. Which ones are they? And let's enable the features that this wallet address, you know, can access.
Gotcha. And so on the other end of that, oh my gosh, NFTs. Like, so if you're going one to one, like, you could have, there's so many messaging apps, and if you're gonna be like that center of the metaverse, like, maybe, I mean, I only have so many apps on my phone, but I can imagine
Mm-hmm.
like all that now being in my wallet. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't really need to do anything with the NFT other than just have it in your wallet.
Yeah,
It doesn't manifest itself unless you log into the TextRP app, at which point then it becomes a utility for you.
gotcha. And if I'm like now deleting my app, I have the opportunity to sell an NFT for more credits off,
That's right. So yeah, you can do with our platform. You'll be able to do two things with feature packs. You'll be able to either burn the NFT
Okay.
for more messaging credits, uh, or you can just go to just offer it up for sale in the
Oh,
open market.
secondary market for buying features. So
Correct.
that could.
That opens up a
That's right. We
whole
talked
new
about that.
market for utilities, and we can talk about that for hours possibly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
It
let me
does
know your
open
comments
it
in
does
the.
open up something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do have a for our launch packs, we do have a distribution model for our features. As we roll them out, we're going to
hmm
be actually airdropping them to our launch pack holders first
Oh
before
wow.
we place them on the market ourselves. So our launch pack holders will on top of other things, such as the rewards from the revenue. One of the benefits of being a launch pack holder is that they'll be airdropped. They'll get first dibs at the features, and it'll be a 1-for-1 on launch packs that you hold. So some launch pack holders may actually decide or actually find themselves in a position where they are, in essence, feature pack resellers.
Feature pack resellers. Again, this is just so different from anything else that like it's gonna be interesting to see how it grows and develops. Um, this is again, I'm not used to thinking of features. I think of features as something like a software, well, which I guess you're doing to the, especially the airdrop. Is something
Mm-hmm.
that is just done without my knowledge. Sometimes it's just added. Sometimes I'll use it. Sometimes I'll be informed about it in a special way. But now it's like, no, I have this item in my wallet that allows me to access that feature, and it's just giving. It feels like a level of control that we don't usually have, but maybe it's just a different way of utilizing that control. So, anyways,
Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
it's what NFTs are allowing us to do. NFTs, in essence, here in this case, sort of serve as a sort of like a portable digital sub-license to the overall license of the TextRP app.
hmm
So it allows the end user to have this sub-license for the app that enables a feature, but it's portable. So because it's portable, they have ownership of it, and that ownership gives them the control of either utilizing it or doubling up on it, or maybe just holding on to it with some expectation that maybe somebody else might need that utility. So there's many. It just opens up that ownership of a sub feature of an overall app. That, yeah, it does feel strange because never before have you had the ability to say own the various categories on your Amazon
Yeah.
website, for
Well, I mean,
example. So in this, it's sort of like you're getting ownership of subcomponents of the app that you can then sort of either use, trade, and the ability to burn actually makes it very interesting for us to on a market basis. It helps us gauge demand for features.
mm,
So one reason that we are using NFTs is that it helps us with scalability. We can tell when a feature is going to be in demand or not. So it'll allow us to redirect our resources toward features that people want, more towards, that which the community prefers, right? So we don't kind of waste our money, our resources on developing things that people are not interested in.
gotcha. Um, yeah, I just keep having my mind keeps going into different corners. I'm trying to keep this concise for the viewers. Um, so if you're doing this with features, why not just track an NFT that someone would buy to use uh, your platform rather than using the wallet address?
Just an overall,
Yeah,
uh, like a master key.
yeah, like hey, this is the NFT for using TextRP, and you can send it and all the features to another wallet if you wanted to. Why not that direction versus the wallet address? I guess is my question.
Well, you already have a master key, and that's your XRP wallet. So
Okay.
that is your master key, and whether it's your, like we went back to like, oh, I wouldn't want to tie my finances to communications, I
Hmm.
guess. But in essence, like in my understanding of the XRP ledger, you just cannot give a platform access to go ahead and spend your money without you signing for it.
Yeah.
So it's not like EVMs where you can like kind of sign an open-ended agreement with a smart contract and then later on you get rugged.
Yeah. You don't
That
want to do
doesn't
that.
happen with the XRPL. And I mean, that's one of the best things about the XRPL, in my opinion, my personal opinion.
Okay.
But yeah. So going back to that, you can, the Sum wallet allows you to open up multiple wallets. So you don't necessarily have to use your main wallet where you keep all your funds and your main transactions. You don't necessarily have to use that address
No,
as
I
your
understand.
identity for communication. You can just jump to another address. And if for whatever reason you wish to use a different one, you can just jump to another one, transfer NFTs over, and you're back to square one, but with a different identity. And
Okay.
that's the beauty of the XRPL. It allows you to manage your identity. Nobody has to block you from something. We definitely don't want to do that. It's an open system of communication. So as long as you have an XRP address, that's all that it takes. The government can't tell me or anybody from our team to block this username because I don't have their username and I don't have their IP address. I don't have their credit card information. I don't have their email address. It's just an open vending machine sort of that just does what it does, and that's uh, channel communications.
Okay. Well, on the NFT side of things as well, so let's say, and I didn't experience this side of things. So if I'm in Discord, for example, or if I buy the Discord feature off of your marketplace, and I now have that in my wallet, walk me through the experience of logging in and tying my account to your app to Discord.
Yeah, not only that, I would love to show you maybe in the next call,
Okay.
uh, because I just recently did it. We were just testing out the feature. It's basically a bridge bot, and so you would just start up a new chat with the Discord bridge bot, and the bridge bot sort of kind of walks you through what you need to do. It'll say, okay, open up at Discord and and do this, log in, and then grab your credentials and put it into the TextRP platform, and then it'll bridge the communications. And once that's done, you have yourself a bridge to your Discord DMs. So anytime you receive a message on Discord, it'll actually pop up on your TextRP inbox. And the same would happen for Twitter. Right now, we focused on getting to market with Discord and Twitter, but we are going to be we're going to be rolling out every platform: Slack, Instagram, LinkedIn,
No, that's
Mastodon, every single one, whatever the community wants, we can roll out a feature for.
and that's amazing, and I'm like, super excited about that. My issue is like, okay, I set TextRP up, I've downloaded all the features I want, I have my app set up, and that's great. One of the things that frustrates me the most about like my smartphone sometimes is that the for whatever reason the app on their side will do an update of some kind, and it will log me out and have to remember my credentials. I'm hoping that TextRP will somehow have a way of getting rid of that horrible experience to where that may not happen. Do you feel like there is a solution for that, or do you feel like maybe we'll still have the
It,
same issue? I don't know. I'm just asking.
it might be a little more seamless
Okay.
than most times, but like again, oftentimes especially when there is communications within the app.
Yeah.
There's in-app communications. So if I'm logged into TextRP and you're logged into TextRP, we can chat back and forth, no problem. Okay, everything's going through the TextRP server. If I were to use, say, a Twitter channel, if Elon Musk decides that he's going to invalidate all the logins
Yeah.
on a universal basis and everyone's just going to have to relog in, then yes, at that point, it would be the same thing. You just have to log in again. Sadly, it's just something that's out of our control. But on our end, great. There's Twitter there and everything, but on our end, we got fantastic features ourselves. TextRP, and I cannot wait to show some of the functionality
Yeah.
because TextRP is sort of like a mix between WhatsApp and Discord. We haven't even talked about what we're going to do with other project NFTs yet. But we're going to be able to do fantastic, bring just amazing utility to existing NFT projects that are going to just add more value and more utility to them already as it is.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be a great moment when we set up those communities within the platform.
Hmm.
Because, like I said, TextRP is sort of like a mix between WhatsApp and Discord. We're going to be able to set up community spaces, and that's where we go into the whole portals to the metaverse
Okay.
thing. Because we'll be able to within the app, you have spaces, much like Discord has servers.
Yeah. I want.
Communities will have those spaces, and those spaces will be enabled based on the NFT that you're holding. So say you're holding a I don't know, what's your favorite I'm not going to make you do this, but what's a good project out there lately that NFT project that just comes to mind?
Well, I recently Treasury gifted me a Timmy, so I'm very interested to see what the Timmy's gonna do for me. So
The
yeah.
Timmies, yeah, the Timmy Turtles. So yeah, so if Treasury links integrates with TextRP, then those who hold Timmy Turtles will have that community's features enabled for them within the app, whether it's a community space, whether it's a unique set of sticker packs, or a unique theme for the UI. We're able to do, or even other functionalities. For example, if you're familiar with the Xbox, uh, uh, we're doing something with them with the Xbox Club where they want to go really heavy into AI, and
Hmm.
so we're going to be sort of giving them a pipeline for them to have their AI research being tested on our platform as chatbots, etc.
Well, I'll be
So
very excited to cover that the first project that integrates with you in that way. But I want to draw us back to this issue that I feel like you are in a very specific place to help with in terms of like if you could find some way to integrate, let's say Elon says, negate all the logins on Twitter. If they had some kind of Web3 connectivity that they knew that say, hey, we know we can validate these wallet addresses. They're validated by the blockchain. We don't need to get rid of or invalidate them somehow, or we don't need to log them out. You've just
mhm.
solved a more universal connectivity issue that from every app side of things that it totally improves the
Yeah,
experience. If you were able to partner
yeah,
on the other
something
side of
something like
things.
something like a persistent cookie on the blockchain.
I don't know.
Uh,
Like yeah, so anyways, I just want to
yeah. It would be a great, but there's also an argument to be made for having that functionality. I mean, just for security purposes, if you're getting DDoS, or just there could be a number of reasons why you would need to negate
okay.
a login,
I have no
and then
idea.
just have it start over. There's just some there is a point to be made as to having at least that functionality. Not the use of it, but to having it there for specific cases.
Okay. Well, maybe that was the case. Sorry, I didn't mean to detract you. And if you have any projects you specifically want to talk about that you said you're in conversations with the AI side of things for their NFTs or like,
Yeah, well, we actually have 11 partnerships.
oh
So
wow, okay.
the Expectar space is that project is building our own white label NFT marketplace. So that when we roll out our feature packs, we're going to be rolling them on our own in-house marketplace.
Okay.
The reason for doing that is very specific. Is that we found that in the space, our feature packs are nothing like the other NFTs being sold out there. We it's very difficult to put a Twitter DM feature activation NFT next to a PFP, on a marketplace. It just we need to stand out more than that. We're just not a an art collection,
No,
you
you
know.
are
So
far more. Yeah.
yeah, so because of that, we found that it was necessary to have our own NFT marketplace be built. So we partnered with Dirk and Neil at Expectar, and they're going to be providing our NFT marketplace solution, so that we can offer up our NFTs that way. And so our other partners, and I kind of touch base on that. Our other partner integrations are with other existing NFT projects, and then those integrations will involve us uh, integrating their existing collections into our platform. And that what that's going to do is going to enable their holders. So if they're a holder of that project's NFT, is going to enable. At this point, we're starting out small with branded sticker sets. So,
Okay.
are you familiar with how branded sticker sets work? For example, in on Discord.
Not so much Discord. I know Telegram. I'm more familiar with the stickers and stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So,
Okay, same concept. Yeah. So what we're offering projects is the ability to create a set of their own branded stickers that we can integrate into our messaging platform. Now, what does that do exactly? Well, because we're a unified messaging platform, we're not limited to our own little space.
hmm
So when you're on Telegram and you're sending out stickers, you're sending out stickers to just that group on Telegram. Meanwhile, with TextRP, we give you access to, say, SMS. You can you can mobile text your grandma a picture of a Pepe meme, a Pepe NFT, uh, because that branded sticker is part of a unified messaging platform. So it's not just limited to just that little inner circle. So what that does is enables NFT projects to spread their brand much wider than the current space. They're
wow.
not just staying in that little bubble. They now you can send a Terra Teddy's branded sticker set, sticker to your cousin who has no idea what crypto is.
hmm
You know, but they're still being exposed to that brand. So that's what we're offering NFT projects is the ability to integrate within our platform the existing NFT. So on their end, for holders of their NFTs, they're reading it that they're reading that project's white paper and it's going, okay, what do we offer? We offer this utility, that utility, that utility. Oh, and by the way, here's a new utility, and that's messaging. So we're adding utility to existing projects, and that's messaging capabilities.
You see, this is where like I find that intersectionality extremely awesome, and I think that the gaming, I don't know about the metaverse side of things necessarily, but the gaming side of things, this is where I wish like EQ or other people would get involved to where like if I had an asset, whether it be like some cool sunglasses, something cosmetic that could follow me my entire journey that met like
Yeah.
certain 3D specs, was on a 3D, you had some kind of
Hmm.
universal 3D space that you could tie these to. I think that would just be what the metaverse and what a lot of people looking towards the metaverse and gaming are looking for. Because that way you buy one thing, you own it, and unless you trash it, and it's not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
I just think that would be, it's the start of something, even though it's just messaging and that's in their
Yeah.
stickers, like that's the start of something much bigger that I don't feel like people understand. So,
Messaging. See, not everybody is in the metaverse,
yep,
but everybody messages.
yep.
Everybody and their grandma messages. So that I see a much wider market in terms of adaptability
Mm-hmm.
in this sense. Yes, we are integrated with the XRPL, but because we are integrated with the Sum wallet, and the Sum wallet is doing great things
Mm-hmm.
to make it as easy as possible to onboard people onto crypto. We felt that this was a great sort of integration because if you can use a Sum wallet and I'm going to assume if you are, listening to this, you can use the phone
Yep.
and to send a message. Then it's that easy of it just makes adoption that much easier. And adoption for people is much easier when it comes to sending messages than it is to trusting people with their money, and into some kind of DeFi protocol or whatever.
Yep.
So messaging is something everybody does. This will allow people who are not on the XRPL and not into crypto at all to be to be involved in the crypto space in one way or another through our app. I did want to just because we were talking in the vein of NFT projects, I wanted to bring to light a use case that
Hey, give
we've
me one
discovered.
second. I just want to make sure that
Sure.
whoever's listening to this, we're talking about Zum Wallet right now, and they are changing their
Yeah.
name actively for whatever reason to XAMAN, I believe. So that's Zaman, I believe is how they pronounce it. I can't find where they say it here, but if we're this is the it's probably going to be branded the same, but I just want to let people know that if they're watching this in the future, Zum is probably now Zaman. So just FYI. But anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Will. Where do you want to take us?
No, I love this app. I used their Topper Gap in there the other day. I've never bought crypto so fast in my life.
Cool.
Yeah, it was great. Great onboarding experience. But yeah, when it comes to NFT projects, one of the use cases that we have, like, yes, we're a unified messaging app, but what else? Like, that's not a new concept. Yeah, we're integrated with the XRPL, not just for NFT feature pack functionality, but this is the great. I'm very excited about this. It's the fact that because your XRP wallet address is your identity, you can send a message to any XRP wallet. All right, so we have a method in place that kind of pings wallets, lets them know that there's a message waiting for them on our app, so that messages never go out on the blockchain.
Okay,
You know,
that's was my main
they stay
concerns.
within the server. Yeah, we don't send messages out on the blockchain like on the memo field or anything like that. No, we don't do that. That's insecure. Number one. So yeah, if that was the question that viewers had, no, we do not send messages via the blockchain. However, if you wish to send, we have the ability of sending a message to any XRPL address. But what is the implication of that? Well, the implication of it is this. Let's say I go to an XRP marketplace or an NFT marketplace, and I
Hmm.
look at an NFT and I see that NFT and I say, I want that NFT, right? The only thing I can do if it's not up for sale, the only thing I can do is send a buy off. That's all. That's the only message I can send that wallet, right? With TextRP, I'll be able to send a message. I'll be able to send, hey man, whoever you are, that NFT means something for me. And wouldn't you be willing to negotiate? Or just to start that P2P conversation.
Yep.
That's what TextRP enables you to do is to contact that holder of that wallet who you do not even know who that is, but
Anonymously.
you're able
Yeah.
to reach out. You're still able to reach out to that individual and maybe start and it enables commerce to flow. And that's where we're coming, back to the getting rid of friction here. So you'll be able to, tell your sob story. No, this NFT means everything to me. My mom had an NFT just like this.
Okay.
You know, and so you'll be able to get that conversation going, come to an agreement. Then when you do send that buy offer, it's going to be accepted. It's not just going to be ignored because you've had that communication. And the same thing goes for if you are an NFT project, you know that not all of your holders are active in your community, right? So if you're trying to reach out to holders of your NFT, say you have a promotion or you have, or those holders have some kind of reward to claim or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, how do you reach out to them if they're not active on your Discord or active on your Twitter? Well, TextRP enables those NFT projects to reach out to them by using their individual XRP wallet to reach out and with whatever message they wanted
But again,
to convey out to them.
wouldn't that have to be the wallet that has their funds in it, though?
It could be. It could be whatever wallet the individual chooses to have.
Well, I'm just saying if the project is messaging their holders.
Yeah, they
Uh,
can do that. But again, is that's the I don't see much of a problem with that. It's just your identity.
okay. Well, I mean, if so, but you'd have to have TextRP on your phone as well as the um just trying to figure out what it would take for that to happen.
Yes, our onboarding. What you're referring to, what you're asking about, is our onboarding process. In fact, we have an automated onboarding process.
Okay.
So because we use the XRP address as the identity, every address is already an account, right?
Okay.
So login is just as seamless as registration. So it's there's no difference in registering an account versus logging in after registering. That's old Web 2 kind of
Yeah.
situation where in the Web 2 world you have to, log in, register with your name and your email address and go back to your inbox, confirm that you have that email, and
Yep.
then you're able to log in and all that. Well, with Web 3 you don't do that. There's no need for that. So we got rid of registration. You just log in. It's your account is already there. So
Okay. That's
so what
that's
we
go ahead.
well, it just eliminates. That's one of the friction points of Web 2.0, right? It's that whole process of having to do this and jump through that hoop and then go to that hoop and then get under this drain, and it's none of that is necessary. So we got rid of it.
Okay.
So you just use your log. So if the system detects that you are sending a message to someone who has never ever used TextRP before,
Uh-huh.
we'll know. Okay, and so the system is going to know that, and it's going to in that case, it will then go out to the XRP ledger, and it will send a message via the memo field, but it will not be the message that you're sending. First of all, it's going to be sending the message from our TextRP project sender wallet address that will be KYC verified and registered with every known
Okay.
XRP entity out there. All right, so that everyone who receives a message from this wallet will know that this is our legit TextRP wallet. Not only that, it's going to be a custom wallet, so people are going to know when it's the TextRP wallet that's sending them the message. And the message is not the message; it's going to be a notification of a message.
Okay.
So again, we're not going to be sending messages out on the blockchain, on the ledger. What we do is we send them we send them various data points. We notify them that they have a message, number one, and number two, we can tell them whether or not the message comes from a KYC verified or not address.
Okay.
All right, because we can, but because if you KYC through some, we can then ping the some SDK. The servers will let us know if that address is KYC verified.
Okay.
That's all we get. Like, that's all the information we get, like whether or not that address is KYC verified or not KYC verified. And then we can also let the recipient know whether or not that address is an active address or an inactive address, meaning is it someone who just set up a ghost XRP address and didn't fund the wallet, or is it a wallet that has been funded and is active? So those three data points allow the recipient to make up their own decision as to whether or not this message is a spam message or not. Okay, so they're going to receive a message saying, "Hey, you have received a message. It's on TextRP, the well-known and popular TextRP. If you want to read it, you just need to go to TextRP and log in, and it'll be waiting for you there.
Okay.
It's encrypted."
And that's really nice. So one other thing that's happening as you're a firm user of the Zum or soon to be Zaman wallet, is that sometimes we get these like little airdrops, right? They're reminiscent of like what dust attacks are on Ethereum, where someone sends you some crypto. They're like, hey, this, and they put stuff out on the internet that says, hey, go here and sign into your wallet, and then they end up taking all your money. On Zum right now, we have some people that are trying to. They'll send you a little bit of crypto and send you a message, usually a marketing type message, and tell you to go to this
Mm-hmm.
website. Don't do anything with those, by the way. Just kindly accept whatever
Yeah.
little airdrop they give you. But
Yep.
um,
Free money.
yes, exactly. But what my question to you is, what is your? It seems like you're opening up to that kind of like if everyone knows your XRPL address, now you're giving them a way to
If,
message people if they use your
yeah.
platform on a mass
Yeah, if
scale.
if anything, yeah, if anything, we have now closed it off.
Okay.
Now, and let me explain. We've taken mitigation steps to sort of close off that attack. If you notice, um, those messages they send you point zero zero, like the bare minimum of
Yeah.
XRP, right? They just want to get that message out. Okay. Well, if you're going to use TextRP to send a message to someone who has never, like for example, number one, our 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 platform is based on a prepayment method, system. I'm happy to talk about our revenue model, but one of the ways that we have revenue is the app is a paid app that provides the convenience of all these unification services, and it's actually very nominal in cost. However, if you are sending a message out on the XRPL and the system recognizes that it's going out on the XRP ledger, every message that you send out, except for the in-app messages, are free. I mean, they consume some level of credits.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're going to send an SMS message, say to a mobile phone, that'll consume, about 1 credit. If you're going to send a Twitter DM, that'll consume like point zero, I think 0.001 credit, something like that.
Using the internet, right?
And using the app, like as you use the app, it'll consume credits.
Yes, but it's consuming credits based on the expense of the platform that it's
Depending on the
connected
channel
to.
that you're using.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on the channel that's being used, because some channels are more expensive to use than others for us. So
Hmm.
we have to, and of course, depending on economies of scale and such, and we'll be able to adjust these as we operate. But typically SMS is the more expensive type of messaging to
Hmm.
send out. But we have deliberately made XRPL messaging the more expensive. So it actually runs at 2 credits. So it's not something that a spammer is going to want to do.
Oh,
Is
okay.
use our A spammer is not going to want to use our app to do that.
Okay.
Okay, and if they do, it's going to cost them it's going to cost them,
Arm and
and
a
if
leg.
it's going to cost them, it's okay to me. It's fine by me if it costs them because they're just sending out money to all these recipients. Plus, the launch pack holders are going to be getting a cut of the revenue anyway, so more power to them. But yeah, it's not very cost effective for spammer to use our app. Not only that, our app has reporting features. So if you're receiving spam messages, you're able to report those messages, and we're able to then, if we're getting like a lot of the same ones, we can, uh, uh, invalidate that account. We're also planning, like as mentioned before, also our central sending address for these microtransactions. Our microtransactions are going to be a little bit more than the bare minimum that these spammers send. It's going to be actually like 0.0001. It's going to be many zeros ahead of the others. Uh, and uh, and so these messages that go out, uh, like they're going to be going out from our project, central
KYC account.
wallet,
Yeah.
yeah, which is KYC verified, and so it's going to be very well known. And also, we're going to be working with firms such as like XRP Forensics, so that as we receive reports of spamming addresses, that's the beauty of it. If you're using a spam wallet address to spam other wallet addresses, we have your wallet address.
So you can now
So
blacklist it.
So now we can just all we do is report it to all these forensic agencies, and they're going to be basically outing themselves. So it's if anything, it's a more secure platform for sending messages, knowing that there's more ways to protect yourself against spamming.
Okay. So I want to go into the revenue model because I'm very interested in that as well as the investor side of things. Because anyone watching this is probably like, how can I profit from TextRP, right? So I want to get into that a little later. You mentioned the P2P, person to person aspect of just knowing the wallet address, and you said you had about 9 or so projects that are partnering with you. Well, let's say you have two different let's say you have an XRPL NFT platform partnering with TextRP. And are you telling me there's going to be a way for that site or that platform to integrate TextRP to where they can have a message button, let's say at the top of next to the NFT, and say, "Hey, I'm open to messages," like, or how does that? Can you just elaborate a bit more on how that's going to work, or if that's already working?
Well, you touched on something that's actually a little bit in development
Okay.
side of things, more enhanced communications that we can provide existing marketplaces. Sort of like a contact me button. That's
Okay.
in the works, by the way.
Okay.
But that's not part of the first rollout of the app.
Okay.
But it is something that is in the works for that. So the way it would work, let me just quickly just tell you what who we're partnered with. I know I mentioned Xspectar for our NFT marketplace solution, but for our NFT integrations, we've got teams like the Wild Stag Treehouse Club, the Universe. The Xbot Club, X Beards, X Clowns, Snowman Club, the Forsaken, TNKS, X Parrots, Cool Punks, X Poker Stars, and Meow X. So these are kind of like community-based NFT projects. They have art. They're art-based and community-based projects. And so what we're doing for them is let's take it from the point of view of one of these projects. Let's say the Wild Stag Treehouse
Okay.
Club. If I hold one of the Wild Stag Treehouse Club NFTs, whenever I log into the TextRP app, I know because of the partnership that we're creating, the type of integration, what's going to happen is that whenever I send out a message and you got your typical chat window and, I can click on stickers and my available stickers will be based on the NFTs that I hold if they are
Ah.
integrated with the platform. So the Wild Stag branded stickers will be available to me to send to anyone, not just another Wild Stag community member. I'll be able to send that art, that brand to anyone through any other message, right?
Okay.
So now I can now send off a Wild Stag meme or whatever to my buddy, my drinking buddy from down the street, you know, and he's like, hey, what is this? I'm like, hey, we go out, and it's a club. They like to go out to, it's an outdoor living club and merchandise. And so, what it does, it just puts these projects out there because I've been noticing something about the space lately is that we're doing a lot of talking to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is just yet another, another opportunity for projects to really get their brands out there outside of just, the siloed of just the XRP community.
Gotcha. No, that's great within itself. The how are you do, what is your process for um validating or verifying partnerships? Do you have any standards that you're using to bring on partners or
Yeah, I can be reached, through our normal channels, Twitter and so on, and we have a pitch deck that we can present to prospective partnerships. We're kind of closed off at the moment. We're using, our current partnerships was sort of like a pre-launch partnership that we had so many slots for that we were willing to, integrate with them in return for some, cross collaboration, cross promotion because this is a resource intensive project. So we do have some, our pitch deck that they can go over. We have three solutions that we can provide to them. Our standards are basically, moving forward are going to be like we just want, teams that are well known in the community and have some sort of community following and this is going to be a fee-based service. It's actually one of our channels for revenue. Is that we're going to be providing this service to NFT projects who want to bring more utility to their ecosystems.
okay.
So we got three solutions for them. We can add, as we were mentioning, we can create custom themes, custom sticker sets that we can integrate on the platform for them, so that their holders can then have that extra utility. But on top of that, we also put those collections in our NFT marketplace under the fun side of things.
Okay.
Another solution is we can also provide things like discounts on messaging, burn rates, and then also if it's a project that has a native token, we can work with them to use that native token in our platform as a form of payment. So what that does is it adds like more utility and more use case to that token. So those are the three current solutions that we have for existing NFT projects.
Okay. No, I just as you grow, I just didn't know if there is like any kind of selectivity towards the projects. And it seems like you're obviously a younger startup, as most of everything is on the XRPL, and so cross promotion is huge, and that totally makes
Yeah.
sense. The what else was gonna ask? Oh, what everyone's probably interested in. You don't have a token. Your feature packs are NFT based. So it's not like I just go buy a token and speculate based off of how great I think TextRP is going to do. Um, how what is the WIFM, if you will? Like, what's in it for me besides the awesome messaging platform that TextRP will be? How can they support or benefit, or because it's so different from other things in crypto, right? So,
Yeah.
how you mentioned like passive income, I think, for NFT holders. What's I guess, can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. So, investor, like basically, because this is a sort of like a SaaS business, service as a software as a service, um, and I've been in the space quite a bit myself. I didn't want to start up a token. I don't see the need for it,
Mm-hmm.
when there's not a need for it. To me, starting up a token issue would just open up a can of worms I don't even want to deal with. It would
Right.
distract me from the actual development of the app and would put me in a position where I would be having to handle and manage a financial ecosystem, which is not what I want to do. I want to build an app.
Yep.
So I just did from the very beginning. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need the distraction, and I don't need the temptation either,
Yeah.
because I don't want to play the pump and dump game as well. So honestly, yeah, the way you can invest into TextRP, the number one way is personally. I'm speaking out and reaching out to angel investors, and we are preparing ourselves for some VC funding. And so that's what we have in place. I personally have invested quite a bit into the development of this app, all out of pocket uh, 20, since uh, since February of 2022, which has been at substantial cost to me. So and I personally don't feel like I want people's money to then do other things. So I came at it from a different point of view. I built the prototype before I even went public with showing what I'm doing. This is a service that I'm providing to the community as an added utility. Now, having said that, there is an opportunity for people in the community to be involved, because I did recognize that without the community, this app and project really can't really take off. So we do have our initial founder level uh, set of NFTs, which we call launch packs. And launch packs are a limited set of 5,000 NFTs. They are currently printing. They're currently minting on Xmart, and we have our own URL for it, which is utilitynft.tech. And by minting the launch packs, people are able to sort of participate, support the project, and really become involved in what's coming next afterwards, which has to do with the revenue sharing and the feature pack distribution model that we have. So yeah, the launch packs are a fantastic way to be involved with the project. And so yeah, what happens is if you are a launch pack holder, we call them LPs for short. Uh, everyone who holds an LP has access to number one. When we roll out the app, they're going to get airdropped an NFT that gives them access to all the features, all the subscription features of the app for life. So as long as you hold that NFT, a lifetime subscription NFT, you'll have access to the full features of the app.
Wow.
The second thing we're going to do is you also, by holding that lifetime subscription NFT, you'll also be credited 600 messaging credits per year. So you'll be able to really have functionality for that app and really get to use it. Number three, it gives you access to the revenue reward program, which we are actually recently rebranded the Chat Rewards program because it does require activity. Oftentimes we think of passive income, but under our platform, you do accrue for activity. Yes, it is passive income in the sense that you do tap into the revenue model, but you must be an active user of the platform at least within 7 days to be able to accrue the rewards. Excuse me.
Okay.
So you have access to that, and then as we roll out new features, we'll be airdropping feature packs to holders of the launch packs, and so they'll be able to, and we will not be selling the launch pack, the feature packs until 90 days after we airdrop the feature packs to Launchpad holders.
Mm.
So Launchpad holders are going to have the opportunity to be the first resellers of the features that we roll out on the app.
Oh, so you're making a commitment to hold features for 90 days to create a high resale market? Is that what I'm
Yeah,
hearing?
and that yes, and that's where some of our traits in our launch packs come into play. And we do have a launch pack guide that goes takes a dive into how to make the most out of your launch packs. Those links are in our link tree and our Discord.
Yep.
But basically, bottom line is that if you hold a launch pack, and we're going to be airdropping those features as we roll them out on a one-to-one basis. So if you hold 10 launch packs, you'll be airdropped 10 feature packs. So if you're holding 10 feature packs, you really only want to use one. Well, the other nine are for you to do as you wish. And our platform is going to allow for you to either burn the feature pack so you can get more messaging credits, or you can just put them up for sale on the secondary market.
Okay. So now that let's talk about percentages and this pool that this gets you into, just real quick about you said that someone who buys this NFT will gain from the system, but everyone else will not. And that's just these founder NFTs. Is that my understanding?
That's right. Yeah, the only NFTs are going to be tied to the reward system are going to be those launch pack NFTs right now.
Okay. And can you elaborate on, I guess, the overall system now about like as we tie in these NFTs to that system, what the how your revenue model works and what that system that is that these are being tied into.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited about the revenue model. If you can click back to the white paper, I have one slide that shows that a little more ahead. There we go. Next one. That's
Next,
the yeah.
this one.
So yeah, we have yep, that's right. We have five ways that we generate revenue through the app and through the project itself. No, the slide
Previous.
previous
Okay.
to that one.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how this breaks down. Is our two main forms of revenue from the app are going to be through message credit sales and through premium subscriptions.
Okay.
So credits are just that you'll be able to purchase like credit bundles. These credit bundles are nominal. If you're just a regular user, we're expecting the average user to spend roughly about 20 cents a day. That's the average cost. So it can be a lot of, more or less when it comes to that. Uh, but when it comes to credits, you'll be able to purchase credit bundles, and that all gets processed through the XRPL. Basically, the system creates if you want to purchase credits, say, 50 credits for, $5. It'll convert it to the XRP equivalent. It'll generate the QR code, and then you just purchase the credits right then and there. You get credited within the app. As you use the app for sending messages, not receiving, sending, um, it'll burn up those credits, and the rate at which they burn are depending on the channel. So as we discussed before, if you're going to send a message out to an XRP address that is not in the app, like someone who's never logged in, it's going to cost you like 2 credits. If you're going to send an SMS, it'll cost you 1 credit. If you're going to use like Discord, it'll be like point something something credit. And then as you use up the credits, you can always just re-up by adding more credits to that.
Okay.
We also have the ability of sending SMS messages. So the basic account, and this is out of the box. Everyone who like goes to TextRP and logs in, this is going to be right out of the box. This is what they have
No
is
NFT required.
the ability. Yeah, no NFT required. You'll be able to send, in-app messages, and you'll be able to send SMS messages through our like a central telephone number that you'll be able to send a message, like a virtual phone number. You'll be able to send messages. If you wish to have your own private virtual phone number, and there's many benefits to this,
Yes.
especially when it comes to avoiding SIM swaps and other things. If you wish to have like your own private virtual number, then you can opt for the subscription. And then that subscription gets processed similarly as message credits. So those two methods of message credit sales and subscription sales, those are our two main revenue channels for the app. Um, then we also have our feature pack sales. As we roll out features, we'll be selling those out. But of course, we always airdrop first to the launch pack holders, and then we at some point in the future we then roll them out in our
90 days.
marketplace. Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah, so there's actually a phased in model for distributing feature packs depending on how many LPs and what type of LPs you're holding. I mean,
Okay.
if you are holding more of a certain kind, you get more of a head start, if you will, in receiving those. But yeah, another form of revenue is the feature pack sales and our B2B consulting. And our B2B consulting involves the NFT integrations that we discussed earlier. So that kind of thing where we talk to other projects and are able to figure out ways to integrate their project into our app. That's going to be on a consulting basis or a fee-based basis, and that's another form of revenue. And then we have the NFT programmed royalties, which is programmed into the each NFT. We yes, we're counting it as a revenue stream, but it's clearly not our main source of revenue. We're talking about small percentages here,
What do you
but
mean
it
by
is a revenue stream nonetheless.
NFT
Well,
programmed?
NFTs on the XRP ledger, we're able to program them with a built-in royalty.
Okay, that's what I was wondering where you're going.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, so we have some form of royalty on those, but of course, it's not going to be our main source of income when it comes to running this operation.
Okay. Very
And then if you
interesting.
switch over to the next slide, we actually break down out of those out of the message credit sales and the premium subscriptions, those in-app sales are going to be 10% of that is going to be allocated towards our reward pool. And so the rewards are going to be claimed by holders of Launchpack NFTs.
Is that
And then it's going
lifetime
to
or is
be
that a certain amount of time? 10% forever?
as long as 10% for as long as you're holding that NFT. Now, our initial plan is once we go live with this program, is to hold this program for at least 10 years. But if it makes sense to hold it for longer, so be it. So that's what our initial plan is. We don't
Okay.
want to just go in perpetuum because we don't know what our situation might be then. But we want to keep it open
Well, you
for
could have an
any
NFT buyback,
potential.
whatever. So,
We could have that. We do foresee a potential, perhaps an acquisition by a much larger entity. And if that's the case, then we want to be able to return some of that value back and not be locked into this. So it just keeps it open to what may be possible in the future for everyone.
okay.
So out of this, depending on how many launch packs you hold, that's the proportion in which you would be rewarded. And this is paid out in XRP. In case you're asking, well, we don't have a token, so what
Yeah.
are we using? We're using good old fashioned XRP money, real money.
Which I want to commend you for it because there are many projects out there that will just launch their own token thinking that's the solution instead of just using the main chain token. So I find this an extremely bold move, and I just want to commend you for doing that alone because like people just like, well, why don't you just use XRP? Why does this need another token? So thank you. I feel like this is logical. So
Well, look, let me. I don't know if it's call me bold, call me dumb. I don't know. This has been. It has definitely not been easier doing it like this because all the costs are right up front.
oh wow.
But just something doesn't feel right to me. Personally, to issue tokens and then depend on people to kind of prop up the value of that token and then be able to sell it from under them. To me, that's not how I would want to develop. So I figured I'll just bootstrap this myself and get this done.
Well,
That's just my nature.
no, I gotcha. But what you talked about earlier, this goes to the fact that you called yourself similar to Ripple and how you're easing the issues for they're using easing the issues for cross-border payments and remittances and stuff like that, and you're easing it for communication, and you're using XRP to do it the same thing. So for every message, like there's 0.000012 XRP being burned as well. So you are actively um, this ecosystem actively helps the
Right.
XRP ecosystem. So it's very, very
Yeah,
cool.
I'm doing my part to burn those XRPs,
Right. So,
burn those drops.
um, yeah. And so this is really cool for the LPs. Is there, and you're making money, but this is just the messaging credits and premium subscriptions. This is not the other two or three that are in here, right? This is just two out of five.
Yeah, the others are less, I would say, dependable.
Okay.
They're just something that we can definitely and also less easier to keep track of. For example, message credit sales and premium subscriptions, everyone can see it. It'll be transparent.
Yeah. No,
It's 10% of that will be able, it's not something we can hide from. It'll be there. It'll be people will be able to see those transactions in real time. So, that's what we're about there. That's what we're sticking to.
okay. So, and this is just for LP holders that are actively using the app within 7 days. And how often are these rewards being dropped? Are they as soon as someone purchases, or is it lump sum? Because I just did another tax video I'll be releasing with with a guy, and he's like, "Hey, any airdrops you get are, taxable at the time of." I was just like, "Man, that's crazy." And this is not
Yeah.
tax or financial advice, by the way. I always consult an expert. Um,
This revenue model, I cannot classify it. I wouldn't classify it as passive income
okay.
because it requires a level of activity to be rewarded. And I have the all the details of the reward program are on our Notion site, which all the links are in our Discord and our link tree.
Yep.
But so just to break it down, uh, in order to accrue rewards, you must have had been active at least within the past 7 days. For the system to go, okay, this person is active, they're accruing.
Okay.
Okay, and secondly, we're working with the devs actually to work this feature out because the rewarding feature, like we're focused on messaging, but now we're actually easing into working out the reward feature. So what we're gonna set it up is we're gonna have a claim button.
A claim
So it
button.
won't
Okay.
be a claim button. So that you choose when you want it.
Oh, okay. So part of me likes that, but it doesn't mean that if I don't hit the claim button in a certain amount of time, it will go away.
Um, Typically not. We're probably gonna have a type of minimum, so
Oh,
we're
okay.
not sending out 0.00 01 XRP every time.
No, like,
We'll probably have some sort of minimum. It won't be something outlandish because I'd rather send out the rewards than owe them.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
yeah, we'll do our best. And if you're not claiming, I don't know, they always say if it's not in your wallet, it isn't really yours. I don't know why someone would not claim them, but I guess we can always just cross that bridge when we get there, and we'll send them a friendly message and say, hey, uh,
No, I would
you're welcome to
appreciate
claim
that.
your funds.
Because Flare, like, there's the distributions from Flare that I forget to go in, and I've missed one or two. So I wonder what I've missed out of that. So that's I appreciate the button that puts it on me, because that was one of the things that was in the video whenever I released it, is that he was saying that there was some lawsuit and some clarity around staking, the fact that, like, if it's not in your wallet,
Hmm.
you, for whatever reason, they think of that as, okay, that's not a taxable event if you're just accruing something in another place where you don't have access to the funds. If you're airdropped, or if I guess you're claiming
Hmm.
something like that, it seems like that would be, from what I understand, a taxable event. But again, consult an expert. Um,
Yeah.
but that being
And
said,
then
this is still really cool.
the user can choose when they want to claim the prize,
Yeah.
the rewards,
So
rather than
that's
us deciding when they're going to be airdropped. And then also takes it from the realm of passive income into something that it's an active activity that they're doing.
yep. The recording of their activity and different stuff, so they understand on the other side of, like, hey, you weren't active, so you haven't been accruing. But if you're using it for messages and different stuff, like I would be, then that would make I can't see why you wouldn't send a text, once a week, hi
Once a
mom,
week, that's all it
something,
takes.
you know,
That's all it
here's
takes.
here's
But
NFT sticker.
it also helps with the app itself. You know, like the more usage that we have in the app, kind of like it's the flywheel effect.
Yep.
You know, because the app does not stay within the app. Like, yes, we have in-app messaging, but because we're unified and you can send messages out to others, it brings people in. Whenever you message someone using their XRP address and they've never been to TextRP before, they're going to have to log in to read the message. Once they're logged in, every new user is going to get some free amounts of messaging credits to use the app. So that's why I mentioned earlier an automatic onboarding, because
Okay.
as people use it and as people reach out to other XRP addresses, it sort of just keeps bringing them in a network effect.
No, that's I totally see that, and that's potentially amazing. Um, let's talk about the credits, because we've talked about them here and there, but what is the credit to XRP or credit to USD conversion rate, or is that something that's going to be fluid?
It it can be, it is fluid because we've set up on the back end so we can make adjustments depending on the market demands. Because you know obviously we want to be able to be competitive. We want people to use the app, but not have it be like something that's a financial burden on people.
Yeah.
Uh, so we're trying to keep it as close to what is like the average based on our market analysis. So the average daily revenue per user is about 20 cents per user.
At the
And
moment.
so at the moment, that's just as rough, and that's really average for every, you know, whether it's XRP or any other app. You know that, and you know, say Twitter, you know, is generating, you know, from maybe not so much from advertising anymore, but that's, you know, when those values are generated, it's based on advertisement. So if Google is you know calculating you to be worth this many cents per day, it's based on the ad revenue that it
Hmm.
brings in per user. So we're doing things on the other end. It's like, okay, well, this is something different because see, we're not selling your information. You know, we're not taking it and analyzing it to figure out how best to sell you something. So we don't have that ability to then take your data and then sell it off. All right, because that's not our intent. Our intent is to communicate, you know, connect people.
But you're still
So this is
having
why
those other services do that, even though, because you're connecting to them, right? So,
yeah. Yes, we are. We're piggybacking off of them, which is
okay.
great. Which is you're able to use Twitter DMs without having to log into Twitter, you know.
Okay.
But unless you want to browse the tweets, but when it comes to private messaging, private communication, this is where we want to really be the leader. And so in being agnostic as to whether it's Twitter, and then maybe you decide you want to use Twitter again. You just sell off that feature pack and move on to some other channel that you like.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we're very open platform. We can do so much for people, and because they're spending on average, like we're calculating on average about 20 cents per user. Based on those calculations, then we can then do some projections.
Okay.
And so those projections, I don't really like to be too public with those because this is not a prospectus,
Yeah.
and I'm not looking, this is not an investment, vehicle.
Yeah.
But there are numbers that can be projected out based on daily active users, and if you can. I mean, I basically gave you the two, the parameter that's necessary. If I can tell you that average, we're projecting average 20 cents per user, that should be enough for some people, some of the smarter viewers to then go out and do the math
Yeah.
and figure out what revenue would look like based on, say, certain milestones, say 10,000 users, 100,000 users, and so on, based on what our rewards are, which is 10% of the revenue.
Yeah. And that's I totally see where you're going with that. And that's yes. I'll anyone who owns one of those NFTs, I could see they'd be very happy as the scale of TextRP goes places. But I was more interested from a user standpoint, like now I'm paying for my cell phone, I'm paying for my phone bill. This is an additional cost. So if I'm counting that cost, what does that look like if I do the message credit side of things? And what does that look like if I'm doing the premium subscription? And so, what is the premium subscription model, if you don't mind me wondering or asking there? Or does it cover
Sure.
just a
Not
gross?
a problem at all. Let me pull up our latest price table.
And if you don't have
And
the
so,
information right now, that's fine. I mean,
no, it's heavy. So the subscriptions are going to be based on, like, whether you want it as a monthly subscription, every 3 month, 6 month plan, or a 12 month plan. And so, what do you get with the subscription? Number one, just
yeah.
to reiterate, you get that private number. And if you're familiar with Google Voice, that service, where you can get your own virtual phone number that you
Mm-hmm.
can use, say, you can put it in a business card. You can use it as a secondary phone number. Somebody on a space call called it burner phone on a blockchain, and I like that,
Okay.
actually, because he's not wrong. It's the ability to be able to have a phone number that you can use to send and receive messages. So with the basic plan, right out of the box, you're able to send messages via SMS, but there's no receive function because we're using one central phone number. If you want to opt for the receive function, where you get your own virtual private number, yes, you can go to Google and get it for free. But is it really free? No. Now Google's reading your text messages.
Yeah.
Now Google is selling that information. That's why it's free, because you're the product. So on our end, we have a different business model. We're not selling you, the user, as the product. We're the service. And, this is the relationship that we have between us and the user.
Mm-hmm.
So, they would pay for the service. And what that service includes is that ability to have that virtual phone number that's their own phone number. They can use it for, I don't know, it's really up to them whether they have a business, they would like a secondary line, whether it's they'd like that second phone number for like 2FA purposes,
Yeah.
so that they don't use their mobile phone and risk getting SIM swapped. It could be even something as viceful as they got a girl on the side, and they don't want that girl knowing their real number.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
not
know.
promoting that here.
It doesn't. Yeah, we're not promoting it, but there's the point is that it's whatever the purpose is for you wanting a secondary phone
Yeah.
number, we can provide that.
Okay.
And so, there's that virtual phone number that you have for sending and receiving messages. And then we're actually working in our future iterations to tying it into the VoIP feature, so you can actually make and receive phone calls as well.
Gotcha.
And you can do that on a monthly plan. You can do that on a 6 month or a 12 month plan. The monthly plan is going to be roughly about $6.99 a month, and then it'll range all the way to the 12-month plan, which is 59.88 a month. All right, which is very nominal, comes to about 4.99 a month. Like I said, we're not trying to break people's banks here. We're,
So it
we're
said the
keeping it
59.99
nominal
was a year or a month?
per year, excuse me,
Okay,
per
sorry.
year, which breaks down to 4.99
Okay,
per month.
gotcha.
So it just depends on the how much you'd like to pay up front because we are crypto based. We're not using people's credit cards. We don't
Yep.
want them because if we had them, then we risk losing it. I don't want to, I don't even want the problem to begin
Mm-hmm.
with. So it's one great thing is that you can actually start a project, and focusing on what you want to do without having to deal with the things you don't want to do. I don't want to be a bank. I don't want to hold people's credit cards.
Right.
So, I just want to communicate people. So we process the payment via the XRPL, and it's in a prepaid process. So about a month leading up to your expiration date, you'll receive notifications saying that, hey, it's time to renew. If
Mm-hmm.
not, there's a bit of a grace period that you can renew without losing your phone number.
Yeah.
But if you go past that period, you actually forfeit that specific number. And if you re-subscribe again, you would be getting issued a different phone number.
Well, the phone numbers are interesting to me, but at the same time, how does that relate to the? Does that subscription also give me unlimited messaging credits? Is something I'm trying to figure out.
It doesn't give you unlimited messaging credits unless you are a launch pack holder, in which case you receive the
So,
unlimited, the lifetime subscription NFT. If you have the lifetime subscription NFT, that comes with the virtual phone number forever as long as you hold that NFT, and that
okay.
comes with 600 bonus messaging credits. So you'll be purchased. Even though you have if you do subscribe for the subscription, there is like a bonus credits that you can get. Like if for example, the 6-month plan gives you 50 bonus credits. So on top of the subscription, and then you just purchase credits on a prepaid basis, and it's very much like a burner phone. It's kind of like a prepaid phone.
Well, I get that, but at the same time, the transactions are being not logged through the data on the blockchain, but the fact that you're sending messages are on the blockchain, right? So it's kind
No,
of
no messages are going through the blockchain.
no, not messages, but the fact transactions relating correlating to those messages, the fact that something's being sent is on the blockchain, right?
Yeah, that's the purpose of
Yeah.
blockchain to
So
record financial transactions.
so the
But we're giving it a little bit more of a utility.
yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that like a burner phone I can trash and it's all on the like AT&T or whatever through that's going through to log or do something with, as opposed to like it's a no messages are on the blockchain. So I'm just that concept of a burner phone is kind of different to me when we correlate the blockchain to it a little bit. So, but I hear you. I get where you're going.
Okay, well, you don't have to use your main address on some. You could just go on the top right and just start a new account, and then with a new wallet address. And you could
Okay.
just run your communications using that wallet address if you'd rather not expose your main wallet address to
Okay.
financial
Yeah.
transactions. I mean, and you're never exposing like messaging to XRP. Just like when you log in, you know how you use your Sum wallet, you log into an NFT marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Well, that NFT marketplace now has logged your wallet address as a user on their website. We're doing the same exact thing, no different.
Gotcha.
We're not like sending messages through the blockchain.
No, I know. We've already
If you're
covered that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
it's just an identity management system. So it's pseudonymous in nature.
no. I was just trying to say that like a burner phone does not incorporate anything on the blockchain, which makes it feel
No,
a lot less permanent, even though the phone company would have more access to your messages than what we're talking about here. Like,
if you buy a burner phone, if you use a credit card to buy a burner phone, you're already on record somewhere
oh, okay, gotcha.
as having purchased a burner phone. Now you could open up a brand new spanking new XRP address. It takes 10 seconds. You could activate it with just enough XRP you need to purchase credits, and then you could go to TextRP, purchase the credits, and you can just use up those credits to your heart's content. You can re-up them or let them burn out all the way. If you had NFTs in that particular wallet address, you can move them out and then just put them in another one. So it just creates more flexibility and control to the user.
I got you. I just part of me wonders where this goes with anonymity and traceability and when we look at the blockchain, it feels like there's unlimited traceability, like so to speak, because everything's tied to wallet addresses. It goes back and forth, and then but there's people when you bring in the conversation about a burner phone, like that there's people that use burner phones and may be tempted to use burner phones for not the greatest reasons. So I'm like, what I don't want TextRP to become the place that, or to be even thought of in any correlation to, like what's his name inside of Congress that always says, well, that that blockchain is bad or full of criminals or whatever. I would hate to. I'm trying to distance that or allow you the opportunity to distance that from the what do you call it?
I have no
The
problems with
burner phone.
anonymity. I have no problems with that at all. I don't have no problems, and I don't plan on censoring anyone. I don't plan on blocking anyone unless they're reported as spammers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's none of my business what people use, what people communicate to each other. And I don't plan on eavesdropping. I can't eavesdrop, not with TextRP. That platform is not conducive of that. And if anyone wants to have further, information as to like what our protocols are we use the Matrix protocol. So if you go to matrix.org, we are using that protocol for communication. It's a top of the line, open source based communication standard, and so it's a decentralized and federated. And federated is really what I like about this, because as we roll out our product, we're going to also be rolling out multi-chain uh, message interoperability.
Okay.
So what I'm referring to is that when we stand up our messaging bridge, say I don't want to give I'm going to give a fictitious blockchain
Okay.
because the blockchains that we're speaking with we're not ready to
Talk
divulge.
about yet. It's fine.
But let's say we start up on blockchain B,
Okay.
right? And well, we can start up the server for blockchain B, but because we're using the same protocol for communications, we're looking at a situation in which you on the XRP network can contact person who holds, I don't know, NFT on whatever, let's call it Flare. Okay, let's say they're on Flare and you don't know who that individual is, you just have a Flare address. We're talking about the ability of you on the XRP ledger being able to contact someone on the Flare network and have contact and be able to reach out to each other. So that's the kind of interoperability that we're going to be bringing to the XRP ledger when it comes to messaging, just the way that Ripple is doing it with XRP when it comes to cross-border payments.
Again, that interoperability and that multi-chain capability is again what I think would poise you to be like that basis of metaverse connectivity. So I think again that's really exciting to me, as well as connectivity for many other things that because if you put yourself in such a place to be multi-chain communications, then you also might set yourself up to be like like not like ISO 222, but like a standards organization that for interoperability, if you achieved the level of what do you call it? If you permeated all the blockchains and were truly multi-chain the way that you're talking about. So it's truly exciting stuff. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here real quick. So I feel like we've covered a lot here. We've gone way past what I thought we would, but there's again so much to this project. I'm really interested to know everyone's thoughts on, put your thoughts in the comments below. Reach out to Will at TextRP. I'll put his Twitter and his link tree and everything inside of the description in case you want to reach out, as well as a link to those awesome NFTs that he talked about. Um, so, yes, hugely new, not developing off their own token, using XRP. Um, all these things. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, and thank you, Will, for spending such a long time on this call trying to help me and the community wrap our heads around the awesome thing that you're doing. That's got such It's so broad and interconnected. But do you have any last words for the community, or thoughts towards anyone who might be watching?
Well, a big thank you for the opportunity to kind of share this project. There is indeed a lot to it. Um, from the unified messaging aspect to it, to the NFT integrations, both internal NFTs and external NFTs, to what we're doing with our multi-chain. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to cover, and as I've mentioned before, I could go for hours
Yeah,
as to what this project is all about. So I do appreciate what time you could provide for your viewers. I invite people to come check out our project. We've actually listed our white paper on our profile page. It's our pinned message on our Twitter page. So if you go to at TextRP SMS, you'll be able to read the white paper right from there. We are well within development. We are not vaporware.
yeah,
Our app is up and running as we speak, and so we're looking at a public rollout towards the end of the year. And for launch pack holders, if you wish to mint a launch pack holder, you can get a launch pack at Xmart, and the URL is utilitynft.tech. And by doing so, you'll then be able to access certain channels within our Discord that will present you with our latest development updates, as well as other things like giveaways, prizes, and stuff until the app rolls out. And once it does roll out, if you're a Launchpack holder, you'll be able to participate in the alpha testing and the subsequent feature pack rollouts. So thanks for the support. And I invite people with questions, potential use cases, and partnerships. And if you are an angel investor, definitely want to reach out to me because we are definitely going to be changing the way people look at utility on the XRPL here very soon. So thank you.
gotcha. No, you're most welcome. And again, if it wasn't clear to people before, in that meetup, Will was showing me the app, and I saw its interactions with Zum. I saw him text me. Like, again, it's definitely not vaporware. Although I would be extremely skeptical if I hadn't seen that. I always, let's be real. I always come from a place of skepticism, and it's probably healthy in this space to a degree. But I just want to say I have seen the app. We didn't show it today. I'd love to have you back to be able to show it whenever it's at that point. But let me know what you want. Do you want a live stream for Q&As? Do you want more content around this? Just please let me know your thoughts below. And thank you for staying. If you stayed throughout this whole video, thank you so much for the watch time. If you want to support the channel, there's links in the description below to do so. But I'm JTXRP. This is Will, and we're out.